Thank you. Yeah.
Hello. I want to apologize in advance. I know you're trying to move away from this image of being a social conservative, but I did want to ask a little bit about contraception, just in terms of how you take your personal views as a Catholic, but move them into the public policy sphere. Like, why do you see the appropriate role of your views, of your personal views in the policy?
Yeah, I obviously have 7 children, so you know my feelings on contraception. So, I take the Catholic position. I mean, I believe that we should be open to life, and if you don't want to have children, there's certain ways to guarantee that you don't have children. And we, believe it or not, it was 7 children. We actually would have liked to have more children, but we didn't. And as far as from a public policy point of view, look, there's a lot of things that I don't think are right or moral that shouldn't be illegal, and that the government has no business in being involved with. And I think contraception is one of them. I don't believe it's right. It's not something that I would do because, any of you I doubt, ever read the Theology of the Body that the Catholic Church teaches. I think it's a beautiful piece of work in understanding how God works through His creation. And so I love that. I accept it. I think it's true. But it's not for everybody, and the government must respect other people's opinions on this. And my issue, and one thing I wasn't a big fan of, is forcing people who have views like me to go out and use my money to buy those products. I think that's an infringement upon my religious liberties. And when the government could do things to accomplish their aim without forcing me to do that. For example, if the government wanted to provide free contraception to everybody, I would have I wouldn't vote for it, but I would think it would be less objectionable. It would be less objectionable to me for the government to go out and say, well, we're going to pay for all the pharmacies to stock contraception and give them out free. Am I paying for it indirectly? Yes, through my taxes. But I pay for a lot of things in my taxes I don't like. So, but that's different than forcing me to pay my money for this product. And so if the Obama administration, in my opinion, was interested in providing free contraception to everybody, they could have done it that way. I don't think that's what they were interested in. I think they were interested in forcing people to bow to Caesar. And because otherwise they could have, and probably it would have been easier, cheaper, simpler to do it the way I suggested, give them out for free. But that's not what they did. And you have to sit back and wonder why. Now you can say, well, that's just the way it is. Why? Why would they do that? Why would they fight it? Why wouldn't they say, okay, you guys have an objection to that, we'll change it. We'll agree to pass a law and we'll do them for free. Never have suggested that. Why? What's the point of forcing people to violate their religious purposes? And I think you've got to seriously consider why they're fighting so hard to make people break their religious objections.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Yeah. Next question.
Senator Santorum, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So my question is not slated at gay marriage or equal marriage, as you've talked about. You have religious objections. You don't have any objection to people having the freedom to be who they are, something you said during this conversation. I'm interested to know why you have in the past not supported legislation that would offer someone like me the protection of not being able to be fired for their sexual orientation. I'm from North Carolina, and whenever I'm working somewhere, I'll either leave off of my resume, depending on the job involvement I've had with my gay rights activism, or I won't talk about any homosexual relationships I've had at work, because I've heard the stories from friends who are older in the community in North Carolina who've been gay and who've been fired because it's been found out. And so I'm wondering again, why you don't think there should be those basic protections for homosexuals, lesbians, transsexuals in the workplace. Thank you.
I believe in people's right to hire and fire people as they see fit. That doesn't mean that I would approve that someone would hire and fire someone for that reason, but they should have the right, if they have, particularly if they have a legitimate objection to have someone in the workplace who doesn't conform to the values at that workplace, they should have the opportunity to say, for example, should people who are Catholic Church, for example, should they be forced to hire somebody who doesn't subscribe to the beliefs of the church if it's an important position that would be required? And the answer is they should have the right to hire people that fit the job that comports with them. I'm not saying that necessarily everybody should do that. In fact, I think, again, I look at my own personal example. I've had gay people on my staff. In fact, when I left the Senate, I had 2 people who were gay on my staff. They did their job. Their values and viewpoints with respect to the jobs they were doing were consistent with mine, and so I felt very comfortable having them at work. But if someone didn't, then they have the right to do it. I don't agree with it, but I don't think they should be penalized for having that right to do what they believe is in the best interest of their business.